the All Pinks in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We are just about ready to get going. And NC State starts things off with a long ball towards the far side of the pitch. Jade Bordelot, who we just mentioned. NC State plays it all the way into the back. This is a Wolfpack team that has struggled to score recently. Just 2 players with 4 goals, 2 with 2. And outside of that, no one else on the squad with multiple goals this season. There's the first action of the day for Blythe Braun, the goalkeeper coming in relief for Shea Vanderbosch, who's missing this game due to injury. But as you mentioned earlier, Braun got a number of starts at Florida Atlantic last year. She started 2 games against ACC opponents in her career, giving up just 1 goal. Both those matches were draws against Miami.
This might be a little different than what she's been used to as well. The 2 starts she's made, Siena and Mercyhurst, nothing like an ACC team. So NC State could take advantage of a team that's let up 75 shots over the last 2.
Yuna Aoki sends it in, but it's blocked out by Anna Croyle, and the first corner kick of the match comes for NC State. Syracuse conceded 2 goals on corners against Pitt. Basically, the exact same thing happened on both. There was a player left free in front of the net, an individual mistake, and the Panthers buried it. Let's see what the Wolfpack can do here. This right towards the middle. Still loose, but Syracuse finally clears it out. Sent back in by Nakata. Aoki chasing after it. Oching shielding, and it's the first goal kick of the match for the Orange.
Oching's confidence in defense has grown so much. A lot of brains with Aba Oching, even as a freshman. She's played every minute so far of ACC, playing over 1,000 minutes on the season at 1,190.
She's been very impressive all year. Syracuse was expecting a lot from Oching. Played with the Canadian Youth National Team, as well as the Vancouver Whitecaps Girls Elite Academy, one of the top youth academies in all of North America, and she is really impressed here as a bit of a mishit there from Braun. It goes out, last touched by Bordelot, and so Syracuse gets a throw in with Oching.
Something that Syracuse has struggled with recently is playing up the pitch from those goal kicks. We saw it in the last home game they had against Notre Dame. A lot of counterattack opportunities available for the Fighting Irish in that game because Syracuse could not clear their own end on goal kicks.
Kylan Grant with space. Sends it in towards the box. Was looking for Fleury, but it doesn't get all the way there. McDermott keeps it in the area and wins a corner kick. And so both these teams with a corner in the first 3 minutes. That was a good ball towards the box, and a great job by McDermott to hit it off of Okiki. Aaron Fleury, the captain, to send it in. Not often the player who takes corners. This time it's towards the back post with Stevens. Still loose in the area. Grant on it. Here's Oching. That shot from Uribe. This still loose, still in the area. Pinballing around. McDermott near it. Can someone get it out? Uribe tries one. McDermott maybe a chance. Here's Fleury. That's blocked on its way. And finally cleared out by NC State. My goodness. Just chaos in front of the net.
Even without a goal, that may be the best series that Syracuse has played in the ACC on the offensive end. You see it drop into the box off of the corner, headed down, and plenty of chances in front of the net. Grant can't get it done, Oching can't get it done, and just back and forth. Uribe got a touch in there on top. Everybody getting to that ball. Croyle can't put it home, and then McDermott and Uribe, the last 2 to touch it before Fleury's eventual deflection.
The referee, Kevin Morrison, looking over towards the 4th official. And they're going to take another look at this. Potential penalty in the box, maybe a handball in the midst of that chaos. There was also a lot of physicality. A couple players got knocked around pretty hard, so Benjamin Eisenhut, the 4th official, calls over Kevin Morrison, and we're going to get our first video review less than 5 minutes in.
This is a bit of a surprising one, but Adam, you mentioned there was a lot of physicality during that play and so much of a scrum that if anybody claims that there's a handball within that mix, it's pretty worthwhile to at least check on it because so much happened. It's tough to wrap your head around.
Referee Kevin Morrison explaining to the two coaches, Nikki Thrasher-Adams and Tim Santoro. And he'll take a look at this. We have expanded video review this year in college soccer, which allows the referees to look back at everything and make sure they get stuff right. There does need to be 110% evidence for them to change a call.
And that's when the call on the field becomes important. McDermott, her header as she went
there
in.
It is.
Handball, number 3.
That's off the hand of Brianna Weber. Without a doubt, right off of her hand. Nothing really she could do about it. And so that should be a penalty kick for the Orange.
And just wrong place, wrong time there for Weber. Like you mentioned, nothing she can really do. It was off the deflection. Once Croyle couldn't get to it, Aoki off the back line, and then just trying to play it off the bounce from McDermott, colliding with the hand. You don't see anybody from the Orange immediately raise a fuss about this handball. Just trying to keep the pressure on, but after the play, that's something that, of course, you do want to review in a circumstance like this.
That's why you never give up on a play, though. McDermott, Oching, Croyle, all those players who were in there could have dropped back, but they continued to press on, and we got what should be the first penalty kick of the match.
You have to give credit to Yune Aoki, too, on that back line of NC State. That ball that popped over the head of Protapas. Aoki was right there in perfect position to head it away, and at least for the moment, it looked like basically all chances were clear, but we could have one here in just a few moments. Still looking at that video replay. You see the close-up here. Pretty clear from further away. Closer up, you can see it pushes that wrist back of Weber.
There's nothing she could do about it, but that's off the hand. So Kevin Morrison has made up his mind.
Coach. So I have hand out, contact with the hand of PK, okay?
So there it is. A penalty kick for the Orange. Get hit off the hand of Brianna Weber. And so Syracuse gets a penalty kick.
And you could see Tim Santoro's dismay with that too. He shook his head at that call, but the expanded video review, that's what it allows you to do. Change calls that are important to games.
Erin Fleury will take it. She has 3 goals already this season, 13 in her career. She's 3 for 3 on penalties in an SU uniform. Fleury from the spot. Buries it! And Syracuse goes up 1-0 less than 5 minutes in.
Just an unsavable spot. She couldn't have walked up and placed it any better. Erin Fleury into the top left corner. Protapas didn't even guess the right way. She didn't dive to either side. But with a shot like that, it would freeze any goalkeeper. She was off her line in perfect time.
I don't know if it would have mattered even if Protapas guessed right, as NC State quickly restarts. I don't know if I've ever seen a restart that fast. We're already back underway after that Fleury goal in the 4th minute.
Got to scrub the memory at him.
Both these teams have struggled a little bit to start off strong in ACC play. Syracuse in its last match did go 75 minutes scoreless against Pitt before giving up 3 in the final 15 minutes. NC State lost 3-0 last time out against UVA after conceding a goal in the 1st minute. And there was really just no coming back from that. After the game, Tim Santoro said, we just weren't good. We haven't been consistent all year, and that's why we're in the position that we're in. They gave up the goal early on, and there was just no coming back from it. Now against Syracuse, not a top 25 opponent like UVA is, maybe a chance here for NC State to come back.
Santoro also mentioned those opportunities that just kind of snowball. Once you let a goal in and you hang your head, that's where it gets dangerous, really, for both sides. We've seen Syracuse struggle with that this season as well. So Santoro still has to motivate his team to continue going, because that goal against UVA last time, they were down the entire game, ended up falling 3-0.
This is an uncharacteristic season for NC State, a program that was really good, especially in the late 2010s, won 10+ games every year between 2016 and 2019. Santoro was the Southeast Region Coach of the Year back in 2016, but as the college athletics landscape has changed, his team has just struggled to stay afloat with NIL and the importance of facilities. Fleury wins it. A nice move to get it away from Okiki. Fleury taken down in the box. And no, that's going to be a foul just outside. So a free kick in a prime position for the Orange. That about as close as it gets to a penalty, an inch or two away from the box.
A real effort play from Fleury to turn the corner on Okiki, and then once she did so, a good play by Okiki. If you're going to foul in that spot, you have to be aware of where you are in relation to the box. She did so just outside in a pretty smart manner, because if she didn't, Fleury was wide open in on goal with choices in the middle.
This is a bit of an awkward spot to take a free kick. Keep an eye on Ashley Rauch right at the top of the box. She's got a lot of room. Could maybe see her unleash one here. Because if you're Fleury trying to send it into the box, you really got to get a lot of air underneath it with not much room. Let's see what she does. Does go short with it to Rauch, who gets a shot off, but it doesn't make it all the way to the net. Cleared out by NC State, and Syracuse gets a throw in.
Rauch just trying to take advantage of some chaos in the box. A lot of bodies in front of Protapas, playing it on the ground and just trying to sneak it under a couple of feet. The foot of Brianna Weber, though, the one to meet it there, this time hitting it with her foot in the box.
Uribe back to Stevens. Here's Ashley Rauch, the redshirt junior from Reston, Virginia. Kylan Grant. She wins another corner kick for the Orange, the second of the match.
Here we go, Abby.
If Syracuse can continue to outspeed NC State down the wings, that's going to be a key. We have not seen SU have more speed on the wings than another team in ACC play, but so far, at least on the SU attacking side, it looks like that could be the case today, Adam.
Once again, it'll be Fleury to send it in. Last time it led to a penalty. This time towards the back post. Uribe got a touch on it, but it's cleared out by Taylor Chisholm. Still in the area. Croyle, the center back, all the way ahead. She retreats back as NC State sends it out of play.
All the possession staying in that attacking third for Syracuse for the last few moments. Even more worrying for NC State, though. It's the attack side today. Doesn't have much going for them either, with Annika Warner the leading scorer out coming into today. So Hannah Borleau, really your best option here, but NC State on both sides of the ball will likely struggle today.
Towards the far side of the pitch, Brooklyn Holt, the North Carolina native, chases after it. Forward towards Bordelot. Moving in on Sierra Collins. And a nice job by Collins to force it out, win a goal kick. We mentioned this at the very beginning, but this is the first career collegiate start for the senior Sierra Collins. She spent 3 years at Mississippi State, did not see any action, but decided to transfer up to Syracuse and thrust it into the spotlight here in a big moment. And what a start for this Syracuse team. Just about 9 minutes in. I don't think you could ask for a better first 9 minutes if you're Nikki Thrasher Adams.
You really couldn't. The long ball is working very well, taking advantage of the speed on the outside wings, and the possession has been a lot better than most games in ACC play for the Orange.
Well, there's the press from Syracuse, and Maya McDermott can't get to it. Aoki sends it forward towards Abby Hugh. It goes out for a NC State throw-in. Hugh, a transfer in from Marshall, a big addition to this NC State team that also struggled a lot last year. At Marshall, Hugh appeared in over 60 games, had more than 10 goals, 9 assists. So far this season has struggled to score, just 1 goal and 1 assist. Collins sends it over to Croyle. A bit of a uncharacteristic center back pairing here with Collins at just 5'3" and Croyle at 5'10". Aoki sends it over. Syracuse continues to press, causing a lot of trouble for NC State, but Janet Okiki gets past it.
That back line, too, having to play a lot of touches, which you don't want your back line to have to do. Those are not your best skill players on the team. If they were, they'd be in the defensive midfield. So these are not people with great technical abilities. Obviously, you're at NC State. You have a lot of technical ability, but not to the same level as your midfield. So putting on that high press and making them play off that back line, a lot of mistakes can be made by a back line when that happens.
We've already seen it a few times tonight. Some miss hits, not the best touches. Syracuse has had chances. Off the free kick. Here's a chance ahead. Jabril was through, but a good job from Blythe Braun to come out, collect it, and calm things down.
Jabril knows a thing or two about scoring against Syracuse as well. One of her 2 only collegiate goals coming against Syracuse last year, and right in front of goal had another chance. But Sierra Collins, the physicality on the ball, making an impact early. Adam, she's someone who's really resurged in this team. Hadn't played in a gap between St. Bonaventure and Notre Dame. That was a 1-month gap on the schedule, and now 45 minutes against the Irish and a start here today.
Much needed in the absence of Kate Murphy, who had started 14 of the 15 games and had played in 60 games in her Syracuse career, was really one of the big leaders on this team. Out today, as there's a nice job by Ashley Rauch to play it through for Maya McDermott, but going back, it's sent away by Aoki. But this Syracuse counterattack has been lethal so far.
The high press has been great, and you have to give credit especially to the effort of Erin Fleury. Every ball that has to be played by the back line, she's on her way to it immediately. It's been very impressive from her up top, but also the wings have been playing very well. Oching pressing up the pitch from the back line as well.
Fleury's cross in.
Up. Chin. Keep alive.
Oching sends it towards the far side. Now
Now
crossed in, and Protopis brings it in. These Syracuse wingbacks are really playing far forward so far in this game. Grant and Oching. We just saw Oching all the way in the box, and it's led to this shot disparity. 7-0 Syracuse. But you got to think that there are going to be some lanes for NC State to counterattack if Grant and Oching are caught too far forward.
That is true. The one downside of playing so high up the pitch, if you lose numbers in the back, it can be dangerous. But without the play of Annika Warner today, that may not be a worry for Nikki Thrasher-Adams. This might be a better game plan of just pressing up the field and putting strain on a younger, not as challenged back line in terms of what they've seen without their star.
It's a very aggressive game plan that we've seen so far from Syracuse. Janet Okiki, the Canadian from Laval, right outside of Montreal, just about 4 hours away. So she's used to this cold weather. We're in about the 40s, a little bit windy. A perfect October night here in central New York. Bordelot with speed takes a shot from the outside, and that's wide to the right.
You like that chance, though, from Bordelot. Good positioning to stave off the defender, keep them on your hip, keep the ball away from them on the other side, and then have the ability to switch your body and fire. The shot just a little bit low and away, but when you're getting outshot at this point 7-0, you have to start taking chances on net.
Free kick from Braun finds Delaney Stevens, and she can't keep it in. It goes out for an NC State throw-in. Stevens transferred in from UNC Greensboro. Started all 19 matches for the Spartans last year and has started now 13 games this season. Ball intended towards Abby Hugh, cleared out by Grant. Bordelot keeps it in. That's Brianna Weber, sorry, not Bordelot, who got the shot off and missed wide to the left. So after giving up the penalty earlier, Brianna Weber was playing all the way forward there and got a pretty good shot off.
A good touch in between Rauch and Croyle, too, to pull it down. Had the awareness to know that ball was at her feet. Then an off-balance shot, but still fairly well placed with the gap that she had. Weber playing a little bit higher up the pitch to make that effort, too. Only 2 shots on goal so far this season.
You said it right there. Syracuse has been playing aggressive. That was very aggressive from NC State to have Weber play that far forward as a defensive midfielder. Here's a chance for Nakata, but that's right at Blythe Braun. She brings it in. It's the first shot on goal, her first save of the match, just 15 minutes in.
So all the way from the outside. It was a good touch forward to get space from Nakata, the freshman, but just the lob ball, no trouble for Braun.
Rauch shielding off Aoki. Sends it up to Fleury, but good aggressive defense, and NC State wins it back. That was a great tackle by Okiki. Taylor Chisholm sends it forward. Abby Hugh with room towards the middle, but headed out by Collins. Wisbeck sends it ahead. McDermott with speed up the near side, but bit of a miscommunication between her and Rauch. It goes out for a throw.
This quality of chances from NC State has really been the thing. Some of the shots have not been the best in terms of what angle they have on goal, but at least getting them is important. And now with some of the crosses that are starting to come in with those wings playing so high, they're using SU's game in the first 10 minutes against them.
Said it right there. First 10 minutes, it was pretty much all Syracuse. Now the momentum has shifted towards NC State. Bordelot chasing after it. Grant got the first touch on it, and Bordelot then sent it out, so it's a Syracuse goal kick. I mean, this has been about as high-paced of a game as you can get in the first 15 minutes. We weren't really sure what to expect in this one. Both these teams have played a lot of top 25 squads, but that's what you get in the ACC, the best conference in the country. Now the two bottom teams in the conference face off against each other. That talent level is pretty even, and we're seeing the aggression. We're seeing both these teams be able to push forward like they're not normally able to.
Exactly. Iron sharpens iron, and the fact that SU has gotten this point in the season without the ACC win, and NC State has as well, there's a lot to play for both of these teams, knowing that this is one of their last chances to get one in this season in a league that is so incredibly tough. You'll have something to hang your hat on at the end of the year.
And a coil up to Kylan Grant, but she can't get there in time. A little bit too much on it. NC State with the throw-in. Aoki goes quick towards Hannah Jabril. Back to Aoki. There's the press from NC State, forces a throw-in in an unfortunate spot for the Orange.
That press from NC State could be very dangerous against a back line that doesn't have a lot of experience. SU starting two freshmen today on that back line like they have all season in Croyle and Oching. But then at the same time, Collins, who hasn't played really at all this season or in her career for the most part. But Kylan Grant, of course, only missing 5 minutes in her last 3,240 available minutes. That shows you an Iron Man on that back line. They'll lean on her today.
It's so important to have that experience in the back, especially without Shea Vanderbosch in net today. One of her biggest strong suits is how vocal she is when she's out there. Now with Blythe Braun in, yes, an experienced keeper who started before, but you might not have that same communication as you would with Vanderbosch, so there's even more stress now on Grant to make sure that everything is calm and composed in the back, as she's the one with experience. Stevens ahead for Wisbeck. Abby Wisbeck with a lot of room. Still Westbeck tries one from way out. That's over the net, and it's a goal kick.
You still like the idea and the creativity from Wisbeck. A good touch inside to get the defender off balance. That's what created such a lane. She had options in other ways. Erin Fleury streaking down the middle, but she was the only one that was unmarked.
Syracuse leads 1-0 over NC State. I'm Adam Gacken alongside Hudson Ridley. So happy to be with you today for what's been a really exciting first 20 minutes. Both these teams with a number of chances. The Orange dominated the first 10. It's been pretty much all NC State since then. That Erin Fleury goal on the penalty kick, the difference so far. But I imagine we'll see a couple more find the back of the net before this game is over.
With how high-paced it's been, certainly, and that's where NC State has the advantage.
That's a great ball from McDermott to Fleury, but too strong of a touch, and Protopis brings it in.
Protopis, a much more tested goalkeeper, obviously, than Braun, which creates a little bit of that NC State advantage. But Braun, a lot to prove today. Her first start in the ACC against an ACC team. Had started against Miami twice when she played for Florida Atlantic, but this is her first conference game.
Ava Uribe transferred in from Penn State a year ago, then missed the entire season with a lower body injury. Really bursted onto the scene at the start of the season with 2 goals very early on. We're going to try and get her more involved offensively.
Yeah, 8 points all in non-conference play for Uribe. It's been a struggle like most of SU's offense once they've reached ACC play. No points for Uribe in the conference.
Oching pressed by Hannah Jabril. Uribe sends it forward. There's no one there except for Janet Okiki. Okiki, a teammate of Iba Oching on Team Canada at the 2022 U17 World Cup. Although they're from opposite sides of the country, played together representing our neighbors up north.
A lot of Canadian representation, too, in the ACC. The future is bright for Canada, that's for sure. A team that is already pretty solid on the global stage.
Uribe ahead for McDermott, but Protopis comes out. She's really stepped up this season. Struggled a little bit last year in her first season with NC State, was put into the starting position after an injury to the starter last year. Gave up over 2 goals per game, but so far this season, Protopis has given up just under 1.4 per game. Her save percentage at 75%. Just gotten better and better as the season has gone on.
And that's while being tested a whole lot. We mentioned 30 shots against in the last game. That's the most that she's faced. It may not be a Shea Vanderbosch level of facing shots, but she's had a lot of opportunities to make saves, and she's done very well so far. Her first shutout was recorded last year. Adam, guess against who?
I'm gonna guess Syracuse.
Well, yep, you'd be right.
That was a 2-0 NC State win. When these teams faced back in 2022, to end the season, they drew 1-1. A little bit too physical on the tackle from Hannah Jabril, and Gabby Wisbeck wins a free kick for the Cuse. Anna Croyle, the freshman who has started in every match this season, plays it back and forth with Sierra Collins. Croyle taking it all the way up herself, now plays it through for Uribe. Uribe all alone, but it's right at Protopis. What a stop.
Perfect positioning from Protopis there.
How often do you see a through ball like that from a center back? It was a great chance for the Orange created by Anna Croyle, but here comes NC State on the counter. Jade Bordelot taking it all the way. Bordelot still now gives it off for Abby Hugh. But the whistle blows offside, and Syracuse gets a free kick.
We talked about Anna Croyle, that ball being played. A freshman with an ability to get that ball past the foot and onto the foot of Uribe. She had a perfect chance on frame, but Protopis was ready, recognized that through ball coming through, got into the exact spot she needed to be to tip it away.
Another prime opportunity there from the Orange. Already 9 shots in this game for Syracuse. Had just 3 last time out against Pitt.
Adam, if this holds, it'll be the first time they've outshot an ACC opponent since 2020. That was in a 1-0 win over Miami.
Syracuse hasn't won an ACC game since 2022. It's been over 2 years when the Orange beat Miami. But a very strong start to this first half. Offside as Flory was trying to play it back and forth with Kylan Grant.
That was a good offside trap, too, set up by Abby Hughes. She saw Grant leak back in between her, so she stepped up and baited the pass towards that back line. The flag will go up on that every time.
You see again just how far forward Grant is playing as the wingback heading all the way up towards the corner flag. Syracuse playing really aggressive. Anna Croyle just headed that ball out. The center back playing all the way forward. Aoki throws it in. And there's a nice move for Abby Hugh. Grad student in ahead, crosses it in. That's past the hands of Braun and out for a goal kick.
Great job of Hugh by using the space on the sideline. Sometimes it feels like you have to keep yourself in bounds. Well, you really don't. A touch around, turns the corner on 2 defenders. That had her free away. Just not a lot of support on the other half of the field for her.
First substitution of the match. It's Anna Rupert coming in for Maya McDermott. Rupert has appeared in every game this season, has a goal and an assist.
Set up! Hey, on the job, let's go!
Seems to be some sort of issue here on the near side with Tim Santoro and one of the referees. Now we're back underway. Out off the foot of Bordelot. Jabril plays it back, and the Wolfpack control possession for a little bit. Bordelot trying to find Hugh. Grant can't get there first. Hugh keeps it in. That cross can't find the area, and it's out for another goal kick.
Bordelot had some options streaking up through the middle. Like Jabril, just had the head down, though, and couldn't locate any of them. That's why the pass outside was the only one she could make, because by the time she lifted her head up, it was the only available option.
Oching up to Uribe. Now Uribe looks ahead. Taken away by the Wolfpack, but Delaney Stevens wins it back, and then it goes back to NC State. Brooklyn Holt plays it back, and the Wolfpack switch it towards the near side with Janet Okiki. Una Aoki transferred in from Arizona Western Junior College, where she was pretty great last season, scored 5 goals and had 7 assists. But now playing in a much more defensive role as she's moved up to the Division I level. Oching ahead.
SU slowing things down now, a chance to ticky-tack their way into a good opportunity. Look for Erin Fleury in this part of the pitch once the game slows down. She's the best shot option to rip once things kind of slow to a halt in the attacking third.
That ball stayed in for a while. Very physical play between Croyle and Jabril right in front of that SU bench. Referee says play on. It's a Syracuse throw-in. It's a great look at this foot race. That ball stayed in for a long time for finally a bit of a shove from Croyle. Syracuse makes another substitution. Julia Denning heading in for Ava Uribe. Denning, the transfer in from Siena, has appeared in all but one match this season. NC State makes a sub as well. Mary Frances Sims coming in, placing Hannah Jabril up top. So both these teams have subbed in and out their forwards in what's been a pretty crazy game.
It certainly has, and because of that, a lot of aggression and a lot of energy being used by both sides. Substitutes will be key today.
Anatella Mazziato, another one of the substitutes in. The ball at her feet right now. But that goes out. Mazziato couldn't keep it in. The freshman from Uruguay. Represented Uruguay for the U17 and 19 national teams. Played at Montverde Academy down in Florida, one of the top high school prep academies in the country for sports. Rupert looks ahead. It's off of Brianna Weber, and Syracuse wins it back. Rauch over to Oching. A lot of room on that far side of the pitch. Denning loses it, and Brooklyn Holt looks ahead.
Just a touch too far from Denning. Syracuse did a good job building up that time around a lot of aggression from NC State. Some rash challenges that they passed their way around. Just that final combination of passes in terms of speed and touch, that's just what lost it for them. The idea, though, Adam, of the buildup is there, and that's what Syracuse has been trying to build on this entire season. It feels like in a game against NC State, this is really their best chance to do it, and so far they've done a great job.
Alex Moore checks in for NC State. Olivia Kelly takes a seat on the bench. Holt throws it in for Bordelot. A nice turn. Collins clears it out, still in the area. Rauch looks ahead for Rupert, but a nice job from Mazziato to win it back. Moore, her first touch, sends it over, and now it's sent in. Right to Blythe Braun.
That entire possession, Mazziato, a very high motor getting to each ball, but then a lot of really good touch to get around defenders, shield them off, and then find good passing lanes. This is a really good super sub for NC State to use throughout the game when they need fresh legs on.
Mazziato has started in 5 games this season. Tim Santoro hasn't been afraid to mix up the starting lineup when he feels that he needs to. That's a nice flick ahead from Mazziato. Attempts to cross it in. That's right off of Anna Coyle, though.
There's that skill again, a good flick over the top that got some offense jump started. She just needs to continue that play after the touch.
No cross, Delaney, over to your left.
Bordelot.
No cross, Kai. Stay with it. Good.
You can just hear how vocal Blythe Braun is. That was a bit of a question for us, which she be as vocal as Shea Vanderbosch is. You can hear her screaming, but here comes NC State. Nakata through. Bordelot gets a shot off, and that's wide to the right.
Great positioning from Collins that time. The ball came in, put herself between the ball and the net. Just well read on the feet of Bordelot. That's the #1 threat you have to watch coming into today for NC State without Warner in.
Delaney Stevens chasing after it, and a good job to send it out for a throw-in at the last second. That was about an inch away from being a corner. Throw in quick, Aoki. Nakata. Weber from way outside, but Blythe Braun with an easy save.
Great save by Braun. It looked easy, but honestly, it really was not. If you see where this ball was hit by Weber, outside footed, curling one way, and Braun has to lay out, get the hands to it, and rate it all the way in. A good job to jump off the line and meet that ball before it could come in any further and curl around her.
Denning was trying to take it away from Brooklyn Holt, but a good job from the junior to shield away the Syracuse press, and the Wolfpack play it through the back. Ahead for Mazziato. Can't get past Kylan Grant.
Mazziato really just using one move, too, on that near sideline. It's not going to take Kylan Grant long to figure that out and put her in a box.
One of the captains on this team. It's a Syracuse squad that has a lot of experience mixed with a lot of youth. Denning chasing after Holt. Now NC State pushes forward. The ball played through for Weber. Right towards Bordelot, got a head on it, but a foul on Bordelot as she pushed Collins in the back end. It's a free kick for the Orange inside their own 18.
Collins a bit undersized on that back line, really does not play like it. Very, very physical. Again, this is the first start of her collegiate career. Did not play at all in 3 years at Mississippi State. Only 45 minutes in ACC play coming into today. But she has really, really shown up this NC State offense so far through the first 30 minutes.
Headed forward, Bordelot and Collins there, and Collins sends it out. As you said, she plays a lot bigger than her size. Her dad played collegiate football at Kentucky. Well, maybe there's where some of the physicality comes from. It's a great job by Moore to step in front and keep it with the Wolfpack. The cross in blocked, but Moore keeps it with NC State, but taken away. And the Orange look ahead with Wisbeck and now Rupert.
Great job by Rupert on that hold-up play just to let her offense set up.
Rauch, a long ball for Denning to chase after, but Protopoulos plays it short. And Okiki looks ahead. Under 10 minutes to go in this first half. Syracuse with the lone goal less than 5 minutes in on a penalty kick from Erin Fleury. That was her 4th goal of the season.
What a battle there on that far side between Sims and Oche.
Braun collects. NC State has really pushed the ball forward in these last really 20-30 minutes ever since Syracuse dominated the first 10. We haven't seen the Orange be able to control possession that much. I mean, in the first 10 minutes, it was pretty much all Syracuse. Since then, both these teams have started to settle in.
The next step for NC State, less diagonal shots, more vertical, if you know what I mean. Figuring out how to get in spaces where on net you have a lot more room than just the corners, because Blythe Braun is going to get to those shots.
Aoki throws it in. Not enough on that pass from Aoki. It's forward to Fleury. Rauch tried the one-touch pass for Rupert. Ashley Rauch has been a key player for the Syracuse team, now appearing in over 50 games in her SU career. Royal was short to Stevens. Wisbeck plays it for Rauch. All the way through, searching for Denning, but Okiki sent it out for a Syracuse throw-in.
SU has been going back to that well that worked the first time, a play that got them a corner early on that they then converted a penalty on later, was playing that ball up top looking for Erin Fleury. As of recent, it's been looking for Denning just because of position, but if they can get it to Fleury, especially with that touch at the top, she can hold it up for the rest of the squad.
Here is Fleury. Stevens over to Oche.
What's that? Forward! Up!
Ball ahead for NC State. Holt forward, looking for Bordelot. With room. Now Mazziato, but Ashley Rauch coming back with a great defensive play. Now send it forward and clean up what looked to be a dangerous opportunity for NC State.
That's what's so great about Ashley Rauch in that midfield spot. She really does play on both ends of the field. Team's leading goal scorer coming into today before Fleury tied it at 4, but then also the physicality on the back line to get in the mix and clear balls out on plays like that.
Too physical from Rupert and Grant, and a free kick for NC State. Mana Nakata comes up to take it, the freshman from Osaka, Japan. Right towards the middle and sent out. Sims gets there first. Plays it back for Holt. Now all the room in the world for Nakata. She thought about a shot from way outside. Instead sends it over for Aoki. That deflects into the hands of Braun.
These last 5 minutes can dictate a lot for what happens in the second half. Look for Syracuse to try to push the pace, keep some of that momentum going in to the back half of this game.
Wisbeck steps ahead. Syracuse has numbers forward with Ashley Rauch. Was looking for Fleury, sent out by Okiki, but out for an SU throw-in.
Syracuse with that chance there. Just a slip from Kylan Grant is what ended the play, but Grant sticking with it and still putting high press on this back line of NC State.
Sims plays it back for Okiki. Now pushes forward. We've seen this a lot from both teams. Okiki all the way forward. Sims plays it in, blocked out by Oching. Only as far as Sims though, towards the back post, and Braun brings it in.
Quickly.
You can hear that communication too that we talked about earlier. Braun, it's tough to be as vocal as Vanderbosch, but she really is pushing her team up the pitch. We haven't seen her hit it too deep yet.
You know that's key when a backup comes in, that you have to try and match that communication to the starter, because that's what all the players are used to.
It's like when you switch your center in football. The terms still have to be the same. The communication still has to be the same, or else things can really go wrong as the captain of that back line.
Crouch, just taking her time. 1-2 with Croyle. Ahead for Denning, who's now switched to the near side. That touch last by Kylan Grant. A throw in for NC State here with just over 3 minutes to go in this first half. It would be crucial for the Wolfpack to just get another chance here before we hit the halftime break, as Rosalia Liu comes in for Mana Nakata. Liu's first touch of the game goes back to Taylor Chrissom.
This is where Syracuse wants that side to be strong, that far side. On these counterattacks, we saw them switch Rupert up top for a little bit more speed than Denning on that far side because of the switched balls that they've been getting from Ashley Rauch. Denning wasn't able to get past that back line in terms of speed, but the switch into hoping Rupert can might be beneficial for Syracuse.
The clock stops as Kevin Morrison tells the trainers to come out. That's Anna Rupert, the junior from Arlington, Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. Looks like she got hit in the eye.
And that's never fun, getting her eye checked out.
Not at all. And you know, it stings right away.
Oh, trying to get something out of your eye. Adam, you wear glasses. You ever wear contacts?
I tried it once. It took about 40 minutes to get the contacts out. Just anything with your eye is never fun to deal with.
I hear it can be painful, too, to press on that eye.
Oh, yeah, not fun at all.
I'm sure Anna Rupert, not fun at all, too, getting hit there in the eye.
Let's take a look at what caused this. Rupert was defending on Brooklyn Holt as Holt's arms were flailing around. Just kind of nicked Rupert right in the eye, but it looks like she'll be okay.
And you could see the left arm was the one, too. The first one made contact with her face, but the backswing hit her so hard that she'll have to check out.
And so Allie Fouts, the freshman who has appeared in just 4 games this season, comes in for the final 2 minutes and 17 seconds of this first half.
Substitution for Syracuse, number 28, Allie Fouts. For number 13, Anna Rupert.
Fouts did score a goal in one of her 4 appearances against Mercyhurst, as that goes out for another Syracuse goal kick.
Fouts a very high motor player, too, as a freshman. Likes to get in the mix at that midfield spot and wreak a lot of havoc. That could be a game changer in a game that's been so energetic and up-paced from both sides. If they continue that style of play, those fresh legs will be a great addition for Syracuse.
Rauch takes it away and looks ahead. Here's these fresh legs of Fouts chasing after it, but the goalkeeper Protopis comes out and sends it forward. Olu. Bordelot with room. Bordelot blocked by Croyle, and Braun brings it in.
That counterattack all started because of a little bit of miscommunication in space. Kylan Grant took a big hit that had her down, and the numbers forward for NC State allowed a one-on-one in the middle for Bordelot. Good positioning, though, from Croyle, and then got a foot to it. That's a veteran play from a freshman.
Rauch looks ahead with 1 minute to go in the first half. The one Syracuse goal came less than 5 minutes in from Aaron Fleury on a penalty. Rauch sends it forward for Fouts. Syracuse offside, though, as the flag went up. The clock stops for a second. One last chance here for NC State in this first half. The Wolfpack have had a couple chances, but have just been unable to convert, as a slip, and maybe Syracuse can get one last chance, but no, Aoki cleans it up, and now it's cleanly sent forward.
Syracuse at one point was out shooting NC State 7-0, and now knotted at 9 shots apiece at it. Tale of two halves within the first half.
9, 8, 7.
Sent forward by Moore, but there's no one there, and that does it for the first 45 minutes of play. Syracuse leads NC State 1-0. The lone goal in the 5th minute from Aaron Fleury. This has been an exciting, just 6 teams make the ACC tournament in women's soccer, so both are eliminated, but as you've been saying, just the pride that comes with winning an ACC game, the pride that comes with winning in the toughest conference in college soccer is not something that you can talk down on at all. Syracuse didn't get a shot off in the final 15 minutes of the first half. We're underway here in the second. And Croyle sends it up to Iba Oching. We already see there Oching, the fullback, playing all the way far forward as NC State wins a throw-in.
Big part of this second half. Look for the combination of Rauch and Fleury. Rauch sent a lot of long balls across field last time to try to switch the field and get it behind the defense. Fleury was able to take advantage.
Crossed in and cleared out by Delaney Stevens. Again, a ball towards the middle, and again cleared out by the Cuse. Moore gets ahead on it. Still in the area. Olu tried it, and Braun eventually clears it up. We saw Syracuse's first goal come on the penalty from a chaotic play, kind of like that in front, where the ball just kept bouncing around. You got to make sure you clear it out if you go for one of the kicks.
Something that's really changed, too, between that first half of the first half and the later minutes. Mary Frances Sims coming in has really taken over on that wing and applied a lot of pressure as she heads it on. That's a key player for Syracuse to shut down in the second half to make sure she can't create any opportunities like we saw at the tail end of the first.
Croyle, a ball towards Ava Uribe. She had an excellent chance in the first half, a one-on-one with Protopis, but just couldn't get a good enough shot off. Uribe now looks ahead, played it through, but no one there. McDermott now speeds up to chase after it. It's over to Yuna Aoki, the sophomore from Japan.
That was nearly a dangerous pass on the backside. Looked a little bit lazy as McDermott bolted after the ball, and it went just around her foot before she could get to it. That nearly could have been 2-0, or at least a really good chance on goal for Maya McDermott, still searching for that first goal.
Not a great pass. Sims took it away. Bordelot plays it back towards Sims. Oching with the pressure slows down the Wolfpack counter. Taylor Chisholm over to Janet Okiki. for Sims. Now Bordelot and Sierra Collins, a great job to shield away Bordelot, and Syracuse sends it out.
This is a matchup to watch. Mazziato on Grant.
Mazziato, another one of the subs who came in for NC State, was really impressive in those final minutes of the first half.
Even though Mazziato doesn't have a goal this year, doesn't have much impact on the stat sheet, just by the eye test, that's the player Syracuse needs to shut down. Most of the explosive opportunities have come from the feet of Mazziato, just creating something for the offense. That's why Kylan Grant has just been shadowing her the entire time Mazziato's been in the game.
Collins sends it ahead for Ashley Rauch. And a physical play from Okiki to send Rauch to the ground, and Kevin Morrison says play on. Another very physical push there from Okiki, and finally Kevin Morrison says that's too much, and Syracuse gets a free kick.
Yeah, that didn't have much ball attack that time from Okiki, colliding with the shoulder of Oching, not getting a foot on the ball, and of course the assistant referee going to wave the flag on that each time to show that there was truly contact there.
Oching for Wisbeck, and now Stevens with some room. Ahead for McDermott. Free with space. McDermott's shot is blocked by Chisholm. McDermott trying to win it back. Push to the ground. But Kevin Morrison says play on.
Boy, Okiki 3 shoves within the last 60 seconds at this point.
The flag up on the near side, offside. Okiki's been playing very physical, but just one foul on those 3 pushes, so I'd imagine she continues to test the limits. This has been a pretty physical game throughout. A chilly Thursday night here in central New York. Right about in the mid-40s, not too much wind. Just about as perfect as it can get for this time of year up here in the northern part of the country.
You've seen a lot of fall foliage on our broadcast, too. It's just a beautiful setting for a soccer game at this time of year.
The trees are wonderful. We've got pretty much a full moon. What a night for what has been a very entertaining ACC affair between Syracuse and NC State.
These are scenes they make paintings about.
Collins tried to send it forward, but finally Syracuse controls with McDermott, and back to Collins. Opts for the long ball intended to Rauch, but it's headed right to Iba Oching. Stevens turns with it. Goes to Kylan Grant. McDermott too strong of a touch, and NC State wins it back with Okiki. We've seen this Wolfpack team get a couple of decent chances, not necessarily any great ones so far, Hudson. What do you want to see from the Wolfpack here in the second half to try and equalize?
Well, they need to continue to be aggressive. That's something that they've done a good job of in the midfield. But in terms of attack, they really haven't pushed much off the ball, as now Jade Bordelot trying to counter my point there, but that's exactly what they need to do. They are the more physical team so far in this game. Break down a back line that's very technical and get them uncomfortable on that back line.
Bordelot forces the corner kick. This is the second of the match for NC State. The first one came in just the first couple of minutes before Syracuse scored its goal. Una Aoki, sophomore, will send it in. Doesn't have any assists this season.
I say release. Release is the post word. Away!
Aoki. This ball's loose. Here's a shot over the bar from Taylor Chisholm. But there was a deflection, and it's another corner.
That ball lined perfectly for Chisholm off the corner. You see the header out in perfect timing from Grant, and the step from Oching gets it to deflect off the head of Fleury and out.
Toes! Away!
This one towards a similar spot. Reeby heads it out. Back towards the area. Still loose, and finally, Oching plays it ahead for McDermott. That looked pretty similar to how Syracuse was awarded the penalty kick that led to the goal. Here's a swinger towards the middle, but right at Blythe Braun, who's done a great job of not allowing any rebounds and bringing everything in that comes towards her.
You mentioned how important it was that they got that out because of the scrum we saw earlier in the game. There is video replay, so if it goes to a handball like we saw earlier, the review is available. Syracuse doing a good job there.
Rauch offside, the flag up. The longer the ball is in the area, the more feet that it touches, the higher the chance that somehow a ball flicks up and hits someone in the hand. On an attempted clearance, there's a foul, so you want to get that ball out of there as soon as possible.
The last thing you want after scoring on a penalty is the other side to score on a penalty and have that work of getting that, or really just the luck of getting that, wiped away.
Syracuse had a penalty go against it against North Carolina back in September. That was the last one-goal match that the Syracuse team played, and since then, all 3-0 losses. The Wolfpack on the far side, the cross in blocked by Grant. Alou plays it towards the far side. Another cross in, this time from Aoki, but Braun comes out and brings it in. She's done a great job of being aggressive on those crosses. A lot of the times you'll see a goalie who hasn't played much, maybe be a little bit more timid, but that's not the case with Braun.
She's not hanging back, and it's a good part of the reason why she's been so experienced in other places. She's gotten playing time because of that aggressiveness. We saw last year a good amount of playing time at Florida Atlantic, but this is her third stop after Iowa as well. So an experienced goalkeeper and someone you want as a backup, because we mentioned earlier in the game, last year Shea Vanderbosch played every single minute of the season. Well, if she's not available at a certain point, you need an experienced backup because of how much SU relies on their goalkeeping.
It's a busy night around college soccer, a top 25 matchup in the ACC, and Florida State, the reigning national champs, up 3-0 over Virginia early in the second half. How about that from the Seminoles?
Florida State, a team that has fallen on a little more hard times than last year because of the standard that they've set. But every team in the ACC just so dangerous. That's why you see, even with the rankings maybe being a little bit skewed, the RPI will always be in favor of those ACC teams.
Two substitutes in for the Wolfpack. Ana Nakata in for Brianna Weber. And for the first time today, Paige Tolentino comes in for Anatella Mazziato.
This is the first game of ACC play. Tolentino has come in as a sub every single other game against conference competition she started in, so a little bit of a different role for her here today.
Right out for a corner kick. Tolentino transferred in from North Carolina, where she had 79 career appearances with one of the top programs in the country. NC State working quick here on the corner kick. Nakata, who just subbed in, to send it in. She slipped, but it's loose in the area. A shot finds the back of the net. It's Taylor Chisholm, her third of the season, and we're all even at 1.
Just a miscommunication in the middle. You mentioned the slip from Nakata on the corner, but that low bouncing ball gets through everybody. Oching just watches it as it goes right to the feet of Chisholm. All she had to do was one-touch it in between Oching and McDermott to find the back of the net.
If anything, that slip and weird cross in helped NC State. Syracuse just wasn't ready for it, as a foul on the restart as Gabby Wisbeck was sent to the ground by Brooklyn Holt. So now Syracuse needs to push further forward. The Orange have had just one shot in the last about 30 minutes of play.
Assisted by number 2, Yuna Aoki, in the 57th minute.
Ashley Rauch to take this free kick. Goes short to Fleury. Back to Rauch, who now sends it in. McDermott chasing after it, but that's right into the hands of Protopis.
Not really any header threats on Syracuse this season. That's become a little bit tough. You lose the height of players last year like Hannah Pilley, and now it's a lot of small ball for Syracuse, if you will. Iba Oching, Gabby Wisbeck, some of the taller players that can give SU chances on those crosses, but some of them are just better finished off once they're headed down instead of towards the net.
A lot of room ahead for Ashley Rauch. Brooklyn Holt coming back. Rauch sends it in, and it's cleared out. A nice job by Janet Okiki to slow down the Syracuse attack.
Brooklyn Holt just caught playing out of position. Rauch snuck in behind her, and it was a great ball to get it there through to Rauch. But then afterwards, just a catch-up by Holt, and it slowed everything down.
Royals ball in, goes to Protopis. Oching wins the header. Wisbeck wins possession for the Orange. Ahead for Fleury. She has room in behind. Fleury already has one today. Her cross blocked, but Uribe keeps it with Syracuse. Back out to Wisbeck. But no one is there, and here come the Wolfpack on the counter. Bordelot. Now sent forward by Sims. Royal watches it out, and it's a bit unfortunate for the Orange that went out for a throw-in and not a few feet to the left and out for a goal kick. So NC State is going to have a chance to press here, with Oching throwing it in a not great spot.
Syracuse has to play smart here. If it's combo passing, if it's quick touch, just to get it out, whatever it is.
There's a good pass from Uribe to Wisbeck, but she loses it. Moore. All the way back to Okiki. And Chisholm, who scored the goal to equalize it. Kyla Grant steps in front to send it out.
Just 30 minutes to play. All of the momentum right now in NC State's favor.
Chance for the Wolfpack, but Oching sends it out. McDermott, the forward playing all the way back, clears it away as the Wolfpack continue to pressure. NC State now leads the shots category 12-10. It was 7-0 Syracuse at the start.
The Orange just couldn't keep up that pace. A lot of those shots, too, coming on one play. And since then, the high press has just kind of diminished for Syracuse. It once kept the back line of NC State on its toes. Now there's been a lot of opportunity for the Wolfpack to play off that back line, and it's led to a lot of buildup for NC State.
The ball has mainly been in Syracuse's defensive half in this second half. In those first 10 minutes when the Orange looked the best, they controlled possession, and NC State was on its back heel. That just hasn't been the case since.
Watch the game like I am. You got a flag.
A lot of bodies near the touchline. No one really towards the top of the box. Cross finally comes in, but no angle, and Syracuse gets a goal kick. That was from Aoki. Another top 25 game in the ACC tonight. Cal at Notre Dame, and a high-scoring affair in Indiana. 2-2 in the 57th minute. What a night it is in college soccer. This has been a really fun game. Have that Cal Notre Dame game, UVA FSU, as here comes NC State. But Delaney Stevens takes it away. In the Big Ten, 2 massive games out on the West Coast tonight. Number 15, Ohio State plays at number 9, USC, and number 16, Penn State plays at number 10, UCLA.
And that kickoff isn't until 10:30 p.m. Eastern time out there on the West Coast.
Kevin Morrison, the referee, stops the clock after a bit of commotion following the free kick. It's going to be a late night for those Penn State fans. As you said, a 10:30 kickoff. Alex Moore and Aaron Fleury just talking things over with Kevin Morrison. We've seen the physicality in this second half. Both these teams know the stakes in this game. They both know that this is the chance to win that ACC match that both these teams have been desperately looking for. Syracuse 0-7 in the conference, NC State 0-5-1. Tim Santoro, the head coach for NC State, very unhappy as the free kick is right in front of his bench. Tolentino sends it in. Collins heads it out, but not the greatest angle on it, and that's out for a corner kick.
Let's go!
You have to wonder how NC State will play this corner as well. We saw the goal that they got off a corner on a low bouncing ball. When you don't have many header threats, just like Syracuse has, do you go back to the well, try that low bouncing ball, even though it was an accident last time? Maybe on purpose here for Paige Tolentino?
Really not much height at all on this NC State team. No one over 5'10". This cross is headed out by Aaron Fleury, and it's another corner, the 5th of the match now for the Wolfpack. Or sorry, the 6th. That one was the 5th.
There you go, Jake. Hey, toes. Toes.
Valentino with the in-swinger. Towards the back post, headed out, loose. And a free kick awarded to Syracuse as some contact inside sent a few players to the ground.
Yeah, Blythe Braun got drilled after that in-swinging cross. A couple of bodies in front and eventually colliding with Taylor Chisholm, the goal scorer for NC State earlier on in this half. Sent her to the ground and got the whistle.
We're all even at 1, just over 25 to go. Adam Gotkin and Hudson Ridley with you here at the SU Soccer Stadium. Aaron Fleury got us going in the 5th minute. Taylor Chisholm with the equalizer. Here's Bordeaux with the shot, denied by Braun. That was a little bit dangerous, knocked up into the air, but Braun brought it in, and in the process, she knocked into one of her teammates, Kylan Grant.
Well, it was a great job by Bordelot to get behind Collins on that shimmy, but then Braun meeting it with the hands and the follow through, not allowing anybody to get to that rebound, laid out, put her body on the line in a tough situation. Blythe Braun has been fantastic today, coming in relief of Shea Vanderbosch.
That's probably the most impressive save that we've seen from her. Wasn't anything that she could have done about the goal that she allowed, as here's Uribe, Syracuse looking to get back into the lead. McDermott, a nice move. McDermott tries a shot, almost curled it in.
Maya McDermott this year still searching for that first goal. Her 18th shot, 5 on goal, and just feet away from curling it into the far post. Great job to get space on the defender after she shook Brooklyn Holt, and then the finish just a little bit too far.
We saw McDermott be really aggressive at the start of the season when Syracuse started off 6-1-1. She had 16 shots in those games. Since then, though, just 1. But there's another one. We see that aggressiveness from McDermott. It almost paid off. Aoki for Bordelot. She gets past Croyle. Bordelot headed right into the hands of Braun. That was Sims who got her head on it. Gulfport, Mississippi native.
These shots just keep coming to the 14th from NC State. SU picked up one not too long ago, but that's been the only shot in quite some time. The shot disparity at 14-10 right now in favor of the Wolfpack, as you see there.
We'll remind you once again, it started off Syracuse up 7-0 in the shots category. So since then, it's been NC State on the front foot. McDermott for Uribe. She got a head on it, but it's back to the NC State back line. Uribe wins it right back.
Great passing from Syracuse to set up this chance.
Rouch for McDermott, but just too much on it, out for a goal kick.
Although it didn't work out, that's the most connected Syracuse has been in a long time in terms of buildup. They didn't push the issue too hard. Uribe slowed it down, and finding Oching to make that break down the near side had one of the better chances SU has had in quite some time in this game.
Sims, with 3 Syracuse players around her, gives it up. Rouch flew through for Fleury. Fleury tries one. McDermott can't get there. It's cleared out by the Wolfpack.
That was a good idea by Aaron Fleury. You have your angle closing down, but you have a player in the middle. Any means necessary, try to get it to her.
Uribe wins a corner for the Orange, the 3rd of the match, the 1st of this half. Syracuse has really looked strong in these last 5 or so minutes. Fleury will be the one to send it in. Gabby Wisbeck playing close as well. Sierra Collins, the only SU player not playing ahead. All 11 Wolfpack right in the area. Fleury goes long with it. Stevens sends it up for Uribe, who gets a shot off, but too many bodies in the way. It's cleared out all the way back to Sierra Collins. Uribe wins it back. Stevens tries one. That was deflected, and it's kept in by Protopis. Fleury turns with it. Has 3 players on her back, and finally it's sent forward. And that ball will somehow stay in play.
A lot of very close calls down those sidelines. It was a good job by Fleury to shield off and recognize that play, but Protopis, what an effort to keep that in and avoid a corner.
Nice move by Nakata. Sends it for Aoki. Tolentino moving in.
Up, up, up. Good. Stay safe.
Delaney Stevens controlling possession, and she gives it back for Kylan Grant. Fleury wins the throw-in for the Orange.
Substitution for Syracuse, number 2,
Liesl Auden checks in for the first time today. The senior from Wisconsin. This is her 11th appearance of the season. Auden coming in for Ava Uribe. This is the 40th appearance of Auden's collegiate career.
She's
her first touch.
She's been sidelined a little bit too in ACC play. Only 55 minutes coming into today.
McDermott sends the cross in. Back out. McDermott can't get there first. Aoki sends it ahead. Grant keeps it with the Orange. Rouch from way outside bounces right into the hands of Protopis.
That's just using the defender's momentum against them, though. She had Olu moving one way. Olu couldn't flip the hips quick enough once Rouch cut back, and that freed up the lane to take a shot. Not one you mind right now once the shot disparity has started to creep in the Wolfpack favor.
You saw Ashley Rouch score a goal similar to that in the lost to Florida State. She has that ability to strike from way outside. Fleury looks ahead. Sends the ball in. Protopis can't bring it in. Auden chasing after it, but Protopis cleans it up. That was a little bit dangerous on the rebound.
It certainly was, and Fleury stringing out the defense as long as she could. Found an angle, and Protopis saving a ball that would have gone in. Perfectly placed shot from Aaron Fleury. Just an even better save from Protopis, and great positioning to get there.
Bordelot fighting for it. Olu for Bordelot. Turnaround shot. Braun denies on the rebound. Olu back in towards the middle. Wisbeck draws the foul against Alex Moore.
And this is something that Syracuse struggled with on the first goal. The bouncing ball in front, this time blocked away by Braun, but then back across. That's how they got the first one. Knocked away, though. Kylan Grant knew where to be.
We've seen both of these teams start to shoot more on target, go for those rebounds. You don't always need that first shot to be excellent, but if it can be on target and if you can force a rebound, then that's where goals can come. Brianna Weber and Olivia Kelly, two of the starters for NC State, coming back in. Janet Okiki heads out,
Also, number 15, Olivia Kelly.
along with Hannah Jabril. So Brianna Weber takes Okiki's spot as the true center back, but we've seen her really push forward in this game, so maybe a more aggressive approach here from the Wolfpack with under 20 minutes to go. Cross in, headed on, and that's over the net.
Yeah, neither side. You don't really have much to lose, but you have a lot to gain. Syracuse 0-7-0 in the ACC. And the Wolfpack, not much better at 0-5-1, so looking for that first win on both sides. If you play forward, that's your best chance to get it. You don't want to park the bus when you haven't gotten a result all year.
Syracuse hasn't won an ACC game in over 2 years. NC State did win 2 last season. Delaney Stevens with a nice touch ahead. Through for McDermott.
3-1. 3-1.
Cross in towards Auden and cleared out by Moore. Royal heads it towards Grant. Now sends the ball towards McDermott, but Aoki stepped in front.
So far for Syracuse, really the most explosive offensive performance they've had in ACC play so far this season. And a lot of that has come through the play of the wings. Iba Oching, for example, pushing up so high up the pitch. It's caused a lot of chaos and confusion for that NC State back line, but Syracuse just hasn't put one away in open play yet.
You got to give a lot of credit to the inexperienced back line for the Orange with Croyle and Collins for calming things down when some of those fullbacks are pushing further forward.
Drop in, 13 coming to you.
Towards the end line, crossed in, and way too much on it. Out for another goal kick with 15 minutes to go. As both these teams to make one substitution. It's Allie Fouts coming in for Syracuse. Maya McDermott will take a seat on the bench. Fernanda Soto comes in for the first time today for the Wolfpack, with Mary Frances Sims taking a seat on the bench.
This is where substitutes become so important late in a high-paced game, knotted at 1 apiece. The opportunities have been plenty, but who has enough in the tank to finish off one last one?
This is Soto's 70th career appearance for the Wolfpack. Entering this game, she was 11 minutes away from 5,000 career minutes at NC State. So assuming she stays in for the next 11, she'll reach that milestone mark of 5,000 minutes. Crouch with a great pass back to Croyle. Fouts tried to turn with it, but a good aggressive defensive play by Aoki. Now Aoki looks forward.
NC State spaced out well right now to build up.
Yep, out wide, guys, out wide. Time, face up, face up, face up. Up.
Auden and Aoki, the two number 2s, battling it out, and NC State controls. The Wolfpack were down 1-0 entering the second half. Evened it from a goal by Taylor Chisholm off of a corner kick. Bordelot wins it.
No shot, good. Turn.
Auden searching for Fleury, but Holt got there first.
This press of NC State hasn't put a whole lot of pressure on Syracuse in the last few minutes or so.
Fleury has a lot of room.
Step.
Fleury for Auden.
Play!
Fleury sends it towards the back post. Fouts wasn't there.
Come on, Nino.
Valentino got there first. Sent to head. Anna Croyle takes it.
It can be so tough when your offensive options are a bit on the shorter side to play the best cross you can.
Grant, the flank. And that out for a corner. Really nothing that Brooklyn Holt could do there, but send it out with Aaron Fleury sneaking around that back post. Fleury to take what's the fourth corner of this match for the Orange.
Everything out! Good watcher.
Fleury goes towards the top of the box. Grant got the first touch. That shot from Auden was blocked, or that was actually from Wisbeck, but she just couldn't get enough on it. But Collins keeps it with the Orange. The second chance, cleared out again. You can tell just how much NC State has put emphasis on setting those balls out the second that they can. Don't allow it to stay in the area, like how Syracuse got its first goal. Room ahead for Soto. On Oching. Passes it towards the middle, and Grant sends it out.
You mentioned the emphasis, too, on clearing. SU is best on corners or crosses when there's a bouncing ball in the middle. If anybody can get a foot to it, it's the best case scenario, and so Syracuse has to start pushing that mode of getting shots on goal through that.
So Anna Rupert comes in for Liesl Auden. Rupert got knocked in the eye towards the end of the first half. Okay to come back in. Janet Okiki came in for NC State for Brooklyn Holt. Soto working on the freshman Oching. Sends the cross in, but it's right at Blythe Braun.
That'll be a tough matchup for Oching over the next couple minutes. A lot of experience from the senior on a freshman who's played a lot of minutes, but going up against really good footwork when you're on an island can be awfully tough.
Chisholm wins the header, but Syracuse wins possession with Croyle. Another one of the freshmen in the back line. Fouts, another true freshman on this Syracuse team from Michigan. Rupert through for Fouts. Plays it in and sent out. Aoki has no choice but to send it over the touchline, and Syracuse gets a throw in. Under 10 minutes to go. The Orange trying to break through and win their first ACC game since 2022. This ball towards the middle, headed on and just wide of the net from Ashley Rauch. You can't get any closer than that.
And you can just see the frustration on Rauch's face. It was a great ball off the touchline from Fleury. Floated up perfectly and just passed. She had Okiki out of position, stepped to that ball and tried to get it to the bottom left corner. And you can see the bench thought they had it and just oh so close.
As close as it gets. Anatella Mazziato comes back in for NC State. With Jade Bordelot going to the bench for the first time today. Mazziato came in, made a big impact off the bench in the first half. Bit of a surprise to see Bordelot head to the bench, though. This team's leading scorer who's not injured. The only healthy player with more than 2 goals.
Stop the ball,
At this point, you have to think it's fresh legs.
This header just wide to the right. There was a chance for Mazziato. I have a feeling both these teams will get a number of opportunities in these final 8 minutes and 18 seconds.
Just another great ball played in from the far side. Nobody marking Mazziato close enough in the middle as Collins was playing off, and she got a really, really good chance at a header.
Rauch loses it. Nakata has a lot of space, tries one from way outside, and that's wide to the right. You gotta like the aggression there from Nakata, who's got 2 goals already this season.
At this point, too, again, not much to lose by firing from deep. Of course, you want to get the best chances that you can, but sometimes you just have to take the shots that are available to you. 18 shots for NC State, 16 for Syracuse, 2 teams that have struggled letting up shots on their back line. Both of them have let the offenses shine today.
NC State was outshot 30-5 in its last game. Syracuse outshot 37-3 in its last contest. Mazziato was looking for Nakata, but Syracuse cleans it up. A bit of a mishit there, though, from Fouts, and it's back to the Wolfpack. Nakata, sorry, that was Mazziato, can't keep it. And Oching throws it in for the Cuse. Actually, first a substitution. Maya McDermott heads back onto the pitch for the Orange, and Allie Fouts, the freshman, will take a seat on the bench, but very impressive couple of minutes from Fouts off the bench. Created a few chances for the Orange. McDermott keeps it in. Rupert sends it ahead. Fleury's got room. McDermott making a run on the near side, but Fleury keeps it herself. Finally, the whistle, a foul. And Syracuse, it's a free kick in a good position. Take another look at that foul. Fleury just kept going in, and really no choice but send her to the ground, to try and send her to the ground to slow her down, as I believe there was a yellow card shown there.
It's Paige Tolentino who had the grab to slow down Fleury.
So Tolentino is shown a yellow. That's the first card of the match. Fleury misses wide to the right. Great pounce right to Protopis, who can quickly restart.
Those are the shots you like to see Fleury take. She was very successful on them last season, just hasn't seen many shots from outside the box go in this year. Re-upping that aggression in a spot where SU needs a win and needs a goal in the next 6 minutes, very important.
Neither one of these teams is going to settle for a draw. That foul against Gabby Wisbeck, and a free kick for the Wolfpack. Kelly goes long with it. Oching wins the header, but it's right to an NC State player. Here's Moore. Tripped up from behind by Rauch. Oching steps in front. But Oching loses it. Nakata. Asiato from way outside. Braun brings it in.
Just trying anything they can from deep. It was a good combination between the freshman Nakata and Maziato. Just got an angle that they liked and pulled the trigger potentially just a little bit too early, though, instead of waiting for a little bit of help.
Wisbeck. McDermott plays it back. Now forward for Rupert to chase. And a Rupert's cross in, blocked, and Syracuse gets its 5th corner of the match with under 5 minutes to go.
Now this is pretty momentous for Syracuse in terms of how you play it. Last time we saw a bouncing ball land far side and a couple of chances to knock it in. You'd have to imagine the strategy would be to get a scrum in the middle.
Fleury goes short, Rauch tries one, and that's wide to the left.
Just another good idea by Syracuse. You're not going to get a header on in any way with such a bunch in the middle. Find a way to create space and get your players in space if you want something on frame.
Back and forth in the midfield, and NC State comes away with it. Olivia Kelly scored a goal against Syracuse when she played for New Hampshire back in 2022. Aoki towards the middle. Collins sends it ahead for McDermott. McDermott with speed forward. Nice ball to Rupert. Rauch. Rauch splits two, sends to the ground in the box, but Kevin Morrison says play on. The Syracuse bench appealing for what would be a 2nd penalty, but we continue forward, and Fernanda Soto can't keep it in.
Adam, you have to say this is a bit of a shocking no decision in terms of what we saw already. The push off without getting a foot on from Taylor Chisholm would usually be a foul by any stretch of the imagination, but instead, this time they play on. No angle to blow that back.
A little bit surprising that that's not a case where we see video review used. With the expanded replay rules this year, the referee could go back and look at that if he decided to. By the way, Fernanda Soto has now crossed that 5,000-minute mark in her collegiate career as a foul committed against NC State. Syracuse will get a free kick, but Soto has crossed that 5,000-minute mark in her 70th appearance with NC State. She's been a consistent player for the Wolfpack in all 4 years. Started every game as a freshman back in 2021. Has been much more of a role player this year, but such an important piece of this team. Fleury's free kick, and that's right at Protopis.
The right call, though. Get some kind of scrum in the middle, a tip up in any way, a one-timer, anything to get it on frame in the best way possible. Not much time for either side.
Potentially one more chance for each. Wisbeck plays it back to Croyle, who turns it over. And here come the Wolfpack. But no, they just send it back and forth.
1 minute remaining in the game.
If you're NC State, not the play you wanted from Taylor Chisholm.
Fleury goes long. McDermott chasing after it. McDermott's going to have a chance here. Up for Rauch. But too strong of a touch. Sent out by Chisholm. Oching keeps it ahead. Wisbeck has a lot of space for Grant. Crossed in, Protopis. Maybe a bit of a dangerous decision there to knock it down, but she brings it in, pushes her team forward with under 30 seconds to go. The Wolfpack can try for the winner here. Gets through everyone, but a foul called against Kelly. The clock continues to run. Kelly was standing in front of it. Now the referee stops the clock with 3 seconds to go. But that won't do much. Blythe Braun will move forward. Sierra Collins stands over it. It will be Braun who takes this final kick. Right around the midfield line, or actually Oching now goes back.
Adam, I'm surprised they're not adding time to the clock. There was a good couple seconds that ran off because of it.
Oching with 3 seconds. Powerful shot towards the area, but that does it. Syracuse and NC State in a back and forth exhilarating match, and in a 1-1 draw. But Hudson, both these teams